OpenCourseWare was a big part of my thinking of like, well, you know what? If MIT could stand on this principle that certain things should just be free and available to the world, I want to stand for that same principle. And so there's a direct through line from what MIT did with OpenCourseWare to the existence of Khan Academy. I have a very clear memory of the first time I heard about OpenCourseWare. And at the time, I was not the Khan Academy guy. I was not involved in education. It was either 99 or 2000, whenever OpenCourseWare first came out. I was working at a startup in San Francisco. And, just for context, which a lot of people don't realize, even in the late 90s, it was pretty obvious that the internet could be used to disseminate information, even disseminate videos. But the path most, if not all, universities had taken until then were to monetize, to oftentimes partner with for-profit institutions and offer online degree programs for tens of thousands of dollars. And then when I was sitting at the startup and I saw a press release or I saw some type of article that MIT on its own dime, on principle, is just going to record all of their lectures, all their problem sets, etc., and share them to the world on principle. I, I couldn't have been prouder. And I've been very clear in the early days of Khan Academy when it was becoming a real thing. Actually, MIT probably doesn't remember this. I was so inspired by OpenCourseWare, I offered to just donate Khan Academy to OpenCourseWare. I'm like, I'm an alum. Doesn't my stuff become part of OpenCourseWare? They're like, no, you're not a professor at MIT. But when I wanted Khan Academy to become a real organization, and I did have venture capitalists coming to me and saying, oh, we'll fund it right now, OpenCourseWare was a big part of my thinking of like, well, you know what? If MIT could stand on this principle that certain things should just be free and available to the world, I want to stand for that same principle. And there's a direct through line from what MIT did with OpenCourseWare to the existence of Khan Academy. For me, at a very young age, especially when I was a teenager, I started to realize that almost any problem you look at the world, war, hunger, women's rights, racial disparities, on some level, it all boiled down to what's going on in people's minds, and education plays a very, very big role in that. And I always got enamored, even before Khan Academy, that the highest leverage point, if you really want to help society, is education. And even when I was at MIT, I had for a little while thought about maybe I want to go into a PhD or this or that. And I was like, well, what are the odds that I'm going to discover the next big math theorem or some principle in physics or cure some disease? But I did think, but if I could teach other people or empower other people, that could have real follow-on effects. And if I teach enough of them, one of them will for sure cure a disease or come up with some new theorem. And the cost of doing these things, I point out to people, Khan Academy, it's not free. We're funded with philanthropy. Our budget is not a joke now. It's approaching $100 million. But I point out that that's the budget of a large high school in America. And we have the charter of educating humanity. And I see OpenCourseWare as very much in that same line, is that, yes, there is some cost associated with creating these materials, but it scales, and it scales to the hundreds of millions or billions of people. There's orphans in Mongolia we've talked to. There's people who in the prison system in the United States, kids in rural Alaska who wouldn't have had access to a course. And some of these kids, it's having access to open education, MIT OpenCourseWare, Khan Academy is enough for them to stay engaged and have a chance at a good middle class or upper middle class life. But for some of these kids, they are going to be the kids who cure the diseases for us or solve major issues for us. So this isn't just an altruistic thing. I think it's in all of our best interests. I always say for every Albert Einstein that we knew about, I guarantee you there were 50 that never got invested in and could have cured a disease or pushed the frontiers of physics, but that potential was lost. And OpenCourseWare can change that.